Red button is on. Red button is
You
on.
want to do a clap?
1, 2, 3. All right. I am Coach Jen here, and I'm here with Coach Will, and you can't see him, but Coach Chris is off screen.
Hello, everybody.
You will hear his voice just like that.
Absolutely. Boom, it's your boy Will Jones. You already know what's going down. Across the 310. Quick pod, Crucible, post-Crucible. We are telling our stories.
Woo! I like it.
Sorry, I had
Bring
to
in
get
the
it
energy.
out. I had to get it out. It was just
built up.
It was.
Awesome. I can't wait to hear all about your story.
Ha!
I actually don't know your story yet, so this is going to be perfect. You guys just talked to Mr. Paolo and heard his story.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing.
Cool. I want to know, like, what were your highlights and your lowlights from the night? Does that stand out to you as, like, moments?
Absolutely. So, highlight for me, first and foremost, would be I was able to do this with my girlfriend, Cass.
Cool.
Right? So, I had talked her up about this, about the moment I heard about it, right? And I just kept pressing her. And then, all these things came up. So, the Crucible kind of started before the actual running portion of it because it was a lot of scheduling that needed.
Oh.
Yeah. So a lot of scheduling, we had October 23rd set, and then Cass was taking her advanced open water on the 24th and 25th. So we're like, oh, now how are we going to do this and all this stuff? It's just super crazy. But she ended up doing from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. that morning of the 23rd. And then she did the start of mine 6 p.m.
Oh, cool.
So that was good. And then so I was with her for a few hours until she went to sleep. And then I came here to CrossFit 310, and that was an extra boost of energy because we had a good, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 people. So like midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. was good. About 3 a.m., I started to go downhill. So from like 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., I kind of went downhill, but I talked to Cass, and her open water was going to be at the pier. So I'm like, all right, boom. We'll run 6 a.m. sunrise together. And so I had to look forward to that. So boom. All right, cool. Had to make it to 6 a.m. now. So got there, did that run. So it was good. I was able to watch her and in between my runs and all that stuff. And then she had to leave to go to another place for the open water or the advanced open water. And then at that time, I was like, okay, it's time to go home and kind of refit a little bit. And then I got a little delirious. I got a little delirious in between there. I'm like, oh, I've got like 5 left. So I'm like, how am I going to do it? And then Cass calls, yo, I'm finished. I'm going to come run. I'm like, all right, cool, So I got back up.
More energy.
More energy, Boom. So she came over. We did one over there. Coach called and was like, yo, we're going to go do one with Paolo to kind of end it out. So then, boom, energy up again. So that's how I was able to complete it, and those were all my highs.
That is awesome.
Of the
I was
Crucible.
so surprised when I called and you answered the phone because you were so delirious. I was like, "There's no way he's gonna answer. He's in deep." It was so good. You answered the phone. You're like, "Okay, let me go figure this out." And
yeah.
You ended up at Palos. That was good.
Because I was like, I gotta do this. How am I gonna do this?
Well, one thing you were looking for going into this thing was to like get down into this dark place and like solve all the world's problems, I think. Did you do that?
I think it was to solve all my
I know.
I heard the world. It was all Will's problems.
I think the two are the same here. Yeah.
Honestly, I believe that it wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Interesting.
Like I think the problems that I was looking for, or that challenge I was looking to face, presented itself in a different way.
Oh.
Looking back, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as you're in the moment, you're not. I'm expecting it to be like the hard, gritty, mental type, like I don't know if I'm a completed type thing.
Yeah.
But it became something else. That was the challenge. It wasn't that. I felt like that was the easy part of it.
Cool.
So I don't really know what the challenging part of it was. But I feel kind of cheated.
Guess you need to do more.
I think so. Yet, right?
I think that's the lesson of this whole thing is nobody trusted that they could do enough.
That's what everybody keeps saying. I should have done more.
Yeah. Because like
Interesting.
I didn't feel like we got the like Paolo and them, boom, they went for 50 miles.
I mean, 50 miles.
That's 50 miles.
That's a long time.
Absolutely. I
Oh.
mean, you're
Mileage, I guess it's not time.
ultra marathoner, so you know all these things. But yeah, I was expecting to hit a wall somewhere. And maybe between like 3-4 a.m. somewhat of a wall, but I had plenty of people around to where like I wasn't gonna hit that wall.
You felt safe, like you knew you were
Yeah.
gonna be okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I think there's lessons in what you're saying, though, because what I keep hearing over and over is that the people got you through.
Absolutely.
Like you had this next thing to look forward to,
Yeah.
and then a person called, and then you got the
Mhm.
next thing going on, and before you know it, you're done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty
Absolutely.
awesome.
That is interesting because you were, quote unquote, on your own. Like you weren't running with somebody, but it was still anchored in people and like getting to the gym or getting to Cass at 6 a.m. or getting to Palos. So it was community still.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Because, like I say, I'm going to be here. I'm going to do this. It's like, I have to show up.
Yeah.
Come hell or high water. Like, I have to be there. So that kept me accountable throughout this whole thing.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So,
It's a good lesson.
yeah. Now let's hear yours.
Okay. Let's see. Mine is kind of funny because Aga and I decided to run this together. And we had set up this thing. We knew that running in the middle of the night, that's one thing we wanted to do. We did the 12-hour. We wanted to run it through the night. But, having little kids at home, we didn't want to be disruptive of the households. And so we agreed to go to a hotel and have that be our base and run from there. And it was close to the gym, actually. So we were close to a lot of things. And I kind of at the last minute sprung on it. In my head, I always wondered how many miles I would do because we had talked about running a 13.1. But in my head, I was like, actually, Chris knows this about me, but the first mile of every run is the hardest mile, I think. It only gets better after mile 1, I think. So I was like, why do I want to run the hardest part every hour on the hour? Why don't I add a mile so that I have a good mile? I don't want the whole thing to suck. So I was like, I want to do the second mile. And so I had been thinking about this for a while. I don't know how much I really brought it up to Aga, but day of I was like, okay, here's the thing. This is what I want to do. I really want, I don't care how many miles we do.
You're actually telling Aga's Crucible story right now. Her Crucible is going to start with, so Jen said, why don't we do 2 instead of 1?
I was blindsided at the start.
Keep going. Sorry.
I'm the one who usually gets sold into doing things. So this time I was the seller, I think. I said, I think we should start with 2 miles. I don't care if we finish it with 2 miles every hour, but if we don't start with 2 miles, then we kind of miss the opportunity. So what if we just try it? And then if we're like, nope, this isn't happening, fine, I don't care. I don't mind ditching it because we will already have gone farther than we thought, right? Even on the first one. So I pitched it. I think she looked at me like I was crazy. She's like, Jen, I am not trained up for a full marathon because that would now put us at 26.2 or Really, it's 26.4, but I'll keep that to myself.
To the whole world now.
Now everyone knows. Now everyone knows my secret. But anyway, I pitched that. She went along with it. Beth laughed at me. Literally was like, "You're crazy. I'm not doing that." So we started off with 2.2. And we actually ended up doing the first 6 hours that way. We did 2.2 every hour on the hour for 6 hours. And I, by the way, was right. The second mile was always better.
Okay.
I don't know about you, but after a few hours, I would say, my first quarter mile, I felt like I was an old person running. Like just to start, I went into with some heel pain. I had a headache. And the first quarter mile always just felt hard. And then after that, I felt so much better. And so by the second mile, I was like, this is awesome. I always get back feeling good. And then, we waited and did it again. But then about a couple hours in, Aga wasn't feeling great. And so then she was like, I don't know, am I doing the right thing? Do we need more rest? She was afraid we were going to get injured. And so I was like, you know what? You just say the word. Whenever you want to stop, we will move into 1.1s. And so later we met up with Beth. We ended up having, we had a funny delirious run where Aga said a funny word and I laughed for like 5 minutes. And then we met Beth at Whole Foods and we shopped Whole Foods for one of them.
Oh, wow.
Picking up whatever sounded good.
Wait. So you did 1 mile inside the store?
We have another sponsor. That would be amazing.
Not in the
mile
store.
In Whole
Well,
Foods.
she said we shopped. I figured that
It
was.
was between.
So sad
it
I
was
didn't
like
have that you can snack inside of there. Let's go buy the ice cream again.
Well, we kind of did what Joe suggested, which was like have a table of all the snacks you kind of want. This was like our snack table, but eventually we looked at that. We're like, nothing sounds good. We don't.
And
feel
was that
anything.
what you set up in here?
No, it was in the hotel room.
Oh, okay.
So we ran. I think we ran our 2.2 to Whole Foods, which of course we had to run way out of our way. We basically had to run home and come back, and then meet Beth at Whole Foods. Then we took the time off to shop.
Okay.
And then we got back to the hotel, and then we switched to ones. We went to ones after that, 1.1s after that.
And what time was that?
That was, oh my gosh, that was 9:00 at night. I think Whole Foods closed at 8. So we started our 1.1s at 9 p.m.
So when you guys got to the gym, it was all ones at that point?
At that point, it was ones.
Okay.
Yeah. And, so, and we were having some aches and pains. Looking back, I'm like, I think I could have stuck with 2.2s. I think Aga could have too. But, in the moment, you really don't know. It's funny. It's just like a learning experience.
Yeah. Definitely a learning experience.
Yep. It was fun to have the people here, though. That was, I think, like what you said, was true for us, too. When we had something to look forward to, was kind of changed the event,
Yeah.
First, we started in the hotel. In fact, we had our kids coming and going in the pool in our room, and that was a little chaotic for the first couple hours. Then we had the Whole Foods thing, and then we met up with Beth then. So then Beth added to our group. Mm-hmm. Then we met here at CrossFit. And so we had that. And we ended right after that. So it kind of was, when I look back, it was like phases. This phase and that phase.
Yeah,
and that
absolutely.
phase.
Absolutely. Phases. I did a phase in Culver City. I did a phase here at CrossFit 310. I did a phase at Redondo Beach. I did a phase at Torrance. And then I did a phase at Palos.
Oh, wow. So yeah. You had more phases. You had more hours.
Yeah.
Jen, have you entertained at all the idea of doing a 24-hour?
I have not, but I think I could. I think the hard part about that is really the sleep, the lack of sleep, and
Agreed.
The thought of just handling that many more hours. But the miles did not feel like the hard part for me. It felt more like the time. And toward the end, I was like, can we go run again? Because we had to wait 45 minutes to the next run.
Yeah.
And you're like, I prefer that than the downtime, I think, for some of it.
Well, you are probably, you're one of the most conditioned people that did this. Not, probably in the top 3 or 4 most conditioned towards running, this physical act of running, because of how many, you coach our run fit. You're, the mileage that you get in. Joe, does
Joe
so many miles.
blows me out of the
right?
water.
So, I know, but Mikey, we saw that he was able to.
Oh my goodness!
Really handle that because of the
was
of the
flying.
training.
He was
the
so
training.
fast.
As we looked at this, the people who did the least amount of run training were the people that hurt the most because their body just wasn't quite as prepared for that. So,
Sure. That makes perfect sense.
That's a basic training principle. And anyone hearing this is like, duh, right? But I can tell you that everybody was surprised by it. You're still surprised by it.
But you know what's so weird, though? And I still don't know what happened here. But I went in with my right heel hurting super bad before Friday. Up until Friday, Beth was trying to help me figure it out. We couldn't quite figure it out. It hurt throughout pretty much the whole day. And now, no pain, gone. Feeling great. I'm still having issues on my left knee, but my right heel, I think I just had to run it off. Like, I joke about that all the time, but sometimes it kind of ends up being true. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
Body just go ahead and fixes whatever the issue is on its own.
So, great. How about parting responses to the watching world about the Crucible? What did you learn? What would you send out there to somebody who's watching it, or to even people that did it with you? Like what are you putting out there because of this or with this thing?
I think one of the main lessons that just keeps coming up is like surround yourself with people, community, people that help you do things. Well, one thing Joe said that really resonated with me was like, we just want as a group to help someone just do one more.
Yeah.
Encourage you to do one more. I'm not going to tell you if you can or can't finish this whole thing, but don't worry about all the miles you have left. Just get to the next one.
Yeah.
And I think we helped each other do that.
Yeah.
That was the learning for me.
Absolutely. Oh, there was some rough moments in there, especially the waiting game. The waiting game was the roughest. But as long as we have a good support system. I had 2 alarms set, one at 50 and one at 55. Oh,
your story was so funny about the alarms. You were regimented down to the moment. I love that.
Yeah, so at 50, it was like, all right, time to put the shoes on. At 55, okay, be standing by the door, and then when 58 hits, walk out the door, walk down the street, get the Nike Run app ready for when it hits the top of the hour, hit go, and off I am. So when I came here, same type of thing. I had fallen asleep. I still had my alarms on. And because I had a lot of other people to hear the alarms, they're like, that alarm's going on too long. He hasn't moved. Let's go get him.
That's funny. I think that's the military in you. I was like, oh, God, we have 4 minutes. Let's go.
That's the mom in you. Guys, we got to get out of here. Come on, everybody get the shoes on. We got to go.
Oh, my God, we got to go. And then the run coach in me is like, we need to leave 3 minutes to warm up before we start moving.
Yeah.
I think another lesson, and I keep hearing this over and over from people, is that they can do more than they think they can. So I think you could do more than you think you can, whoever you are.
Just give it a go in a very safe manner.
With people.
Yes.
Don't forget to wear pants.
Yes, don't forget to wear pants.
Was that a concern?
Did I say that out loud?
Don't play with wild animals.
Again, I didn't know that was an issue. Okay.
You never
Those
know. There
are
may be a
lessons,
skunk.
too.
There may be a skunk or a raccoon running out of the bushes that you're running next to. You're like, oh, let me go
We
check
see
out.
those at Run Fit all the time. All the time.
Terrifying. This is taking a turn.
That's right. That is when it is time to go.
Yeah.
All right. I think
fun.
you got to sign us off because you do all the cool stuff I don't know how to do.
All right. Well, I mean, I am looking forward to the next one. So whenever that is, let's run it.
2021.
But here we go. Boom, it's your boy with Jones Coffee 310 Post Crucible Talk, presented to you by Performance T. Boom, it's your boy Will Jones, Coach Jen, Coach Jick. Oh, whoa. My energy just woo. Here we go. We're going to do this again. Boom, it's your boy Will Jones, Coach Jen, Coach Chris, CrossFit 310. We out. Peace.